Hey there everybody, I hope you can forgive this very yellow shirt, but I like it. I feel like it does good things for my arms. I mean my guns. But really, I want to kick off this video talking about the new Canon 70-200s with a brief piece of commentary on the Tamron 28-75 f2.8. We've seen some autofocus issues. Big recommendation here, don't start the camera in movie mode if you want the autofocus to work. Every time I've started it in movie mode, the autofocus has not worked. Every time I've started in stills mode and then changed it, it's been a lot better percentage chance of working properly. We're gonna jump into the video. So the new Canon 70-200s are really cool for a couple of different reasons, right? From a business perspective, they're going to be a great thing for Canon to be bringing to the table. These are going to be lenses that it looks like are going to be pretty compatible with whatever they're going to be coming out with down the line. Canon would be having to think, okay, what's our long-term strategy in order to be able to justify these lenses being made at this point in time. So whatever mirrorless, whatever DSLR options are in the future, we have to expect that these 70-200s will somehow be able to be used on those cameras. Obviously with the DSLR that would make perfect sense. With a mirrorless that might take a little bit of finagling, we'll have to see. Now the f2.8 version is probably going to be, you know, the new standard for 70-200s, the way that Canon 70-200s are, right? So what you need to expect is that it's going to be heavy, it's going to be big. What you can know you're going to get is 3.5 stops of optical stabilization, which is just over what the f4, the first one, had. So I had the f4 LIS and the stabilization was great. It was rated at 3, but I think I got closer to 4 on average. This is being rated at 3.5, so you're probably going to get closer to 4.5 stops of stabilization, which is great. That's just phenomenal. Forgive me if I'm, you know, blathering, is that a word? Blathering on too much about how much I think these lenses are going to be great. If you agree, go ahead and smash that like button. If you don't, I would appreciate it if you drop a comment instead of a dislike, but I understand if you have to. Go ahead and subscribe for my upcoming A7 III review. Leave a comment below with how you'd like that to turn out, what elements you're particularly interested in being dove into, whichever one of those that is. The most popular suggestions, recommendations will absolutely be taken under advisement. So far, it's looking like people are interested in a multi-part series, but yeah. Let's go back to being really enthusiastic about these lenses. Now, the other thing is that they're putting all their latest coatings in there. They're putting fluoride, I think that's the right word, fluoride elements, UD elements. These are gonna make the lens lighter, sharper, better with handling light than a lens without them, right? And what that also is going to mean is that this lens is probably going to be significantly better from an optical quality perspective than its predecessor. Makes perfect sense. Not much that I'm going to tell you in terms of the quality aspect is going to be, you know, huge news to you, because you can expect the new one to be a little bit better. The 24-105 f4 LIS2 that did come out somewhat recently was, however, not quite as sharp. So that is a possibility, but I think that with the much better autofocus motor that we're seeing, with these more and better coatings, with more and better optical elements, we can expect a much better 70-200 f2.8. With the f4, that's going to come in at 786 grams, so it's not going to be the easiest to work with. It's not going to be the most travelable, but it is going to be a very solid option for most photographers looking for a 70-200 in EF mount. Now, the other side of that coin is that it is stabilized as well. That's part of what makes that lens really worthwhile. That is going from 3 stops in the first one, the one that I had, to 5 stops rated. So if you can do, I mean, if it's possible to do the same math that I was able to do it with my first one, I imagine that we could be seeing closer to 6 optical stops out of this. So that's fantastic. And by being optically stabilized with the optical stabilizer mechanism or whatever from the new 100 to 400, you're gonna see some incredible ability in low light with still subjects. You're gonna see some excellent ability panning, tracking subjects. 5 stops is a lot. So you really should expect to be able to slow your shutter down in order to get that nice motion blur while you're panning with the subject, if wildlife is a thing for you, if sports is a thing for you. The other really compelling part of the 70-200 f4 LIS2 is that it's also going to have a bit of a better autofocus motor. It's going to have more and better of the very important optical elements that are not just optical glass, like fluoride, fluorine, whatever it is. And so you're going to get a much sharper image out of that just because of the way that the optic was designed, the way that the objective lens was designed. So a lens doesn't have to exist in a barrel with optical stabilization and all that. Obviously, it will work better when it does. But when you kind of start to deconstruct and unpeel a lens like this, what you got to remember is that you're going to see some really fantastic quality optical elements in there, and those fantastic quality optical elements are what's really going to push that image quality forward. You're going to be able to expect to see some really great contrast and color rendition out of these, just like every other Canon 70-200 and Canon L series lens that has been put out in recent days. I love the emphasis on the stabilizer in both of these lenses. The stabilizer is really what makes these lenses and the Canon mount so key for continued brand equity, for continued motivation to invest in and use their system and their lenses. So when you're thinking about, okay, do I need to spend $1,700 on the new f4 LIS2? Or when you're thinking, do I need to spend, $2+ grand on the new 70-200 f2.8 LIS3? I think what you're going to be able to say with confidence is that the performance increases will be significant. You will not need to upgrade by any stretch of the imagination. But if you have been lacking as an optical stabilizer, I would highly recommend picking one of these up, because the optical stabilizer is really one of the things that brings this whole package in both of these lenses together in such an important way for both photographers and videographers. So yeah, I'm really excited about these lenses. I'm probably not going to pick one up myself because I'm kind of transitioning into the Sony E-mount, and I don't need EF lenses anymore, and they don't autofocus as well on E-mount as I would like them to. But what I am convinced of is that for those of you that are going to pick them up, they are going to be fantastic. So thank you very much for your time and for your attention in this video. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.